Like, I saw you walking in the store and I saw your calves and I was like, oh, she has nice calves. And I was like, hello, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a new series. We're locking in. This is going to be the winter arc series. I know everybody does one, but yeah, I'm doing one now too because I watched them last year and at first I was like, oh, why do I need to do a winter arc? I can just do what I was doing before. But what I was doing before was a whole lot of nothing. Obviously I have not reached my goals yet, so it's time to lock in, and if joining something called the winter arc is going to help me get there, I'm gonna do it. Mine's gonna be from today, which is November 2nd, to about the end of February. Yeah, and we're just, like I said, we're locking in. We're actually working towards the goals. I did do a little bit of that today. Because right now it's like 7 o'clock, I believe, at night. So I did have my day, and I know for me this is going to be difficult because I have issues with sweets and then just picking up snacks. So I went to Dollar Tree today, got the little things that I need, and I always go to the snack aisle and get like Raisinets or just something like little chips or something. And I did go to the aisle. I looked at the snacks, so I was like, you know what? You're supposed to be starting locking in, even though you haven't made the video yet. Start now. And it was hard, but I didn't get the stuff. I got exactly what I went in there for, and I did not get any extra snacks, which for me is a really big deal because I'm a snacker. I didn't get like this by not snacking. Snacking and sweets. This is what makes up this body, okay? And I did go to my parents' house after that because I wanted food. I knew they were gonna have food because they were watching the football game. So my mom made me chicken quesadilla, so that was pretty good. And then I was able to do grocery shopping after that because grocery shopping, when you're hungry, the decisions we make when we go into the grocery store and we're hungry are crazy. Like whenever I go to the grocery store and I'm hungry, it's just me buying a bunch of snacks and nothing makes a meal. So I did go there. Yes, I technically did mooch off of them for food, but it was for the greater good of my well-being and health. So they didn't mind. They usually don't mind feeding me, which is good, A quick check-in of what I'm looking like today. Like I said, today is November 2nd, the first day of this winter arc series, Sunday. And I lost my tape measure. I usually do like my body measurements, but whenever I do find it or end up getting a new one, I will take measurements. But for today, I'm just gonna show what my physique looks like. And then my weight today was 355.8, which is about the range that's normally in. Typically, my weight fluctuates between 351 and 356, and that's about it. So my main goal for November is to see if I can break that and get to 349. So that is our goal for this month. What I'm looking for in my physique, I don't want to have too much of expectations because I don't actually know what my body is going to look like once I lose weight, and like the weightlifting I do and then just the other cardio that I do. So I don't want to have too strict of a notion of what my body's going to look like, but what I would like is to define my shoulders. I've been working out my upper body a lot more than I used to, so it's more defined than it used to be. So what I'd be looking for is just to have, obviously, like my collarbones. When I was thinner, I think I was around 220 the last time my collarbones kind of showed through, because for me, I'm 6 feet tall, so 220 on me looks a lot different than 220 on somebody shorter than me. And I just build muscle quicker, so my body does seem to be in its prime around 200 to 220. So that would be the weight loss goal I have. So that's about 130 pounds that I have to lose. So that's what I have for now. Like I said, I'm trying to get more definition up here. Have my collarbones kind of just be more like that, like how they used to be. And then I just want like larger, like rounder shoulders, because right now they're kind of just like sloped like this. I just want them to be kind of up and just rounder. In terms of arms, like for now I have obviously like this flab here, which is fine. I used to hate it, but whatever, they're arms. But I do want to have bicep definition and obviously tricep definition, so just overall arm definition, and even my forearms too. But I think that's just one of those things where as you do upper body stuff, your forearm just kind of automatically gets engaged with what you're doing. And then in terms of midsection, for me, I hold most of my weight in my midsection. So if I step over here, so you can kind of see from the side, like you can tell most of my weight's right around here, stomach obviously, and then I have more in my back, which I probably should have worn a different shirt to show my back, but it's kind of cold in here and I don't really want to take it off, but just trust me, I have back fat, obviously. So hold most of my weight in my midsection, so obviously you want to get that down. And as a woman, having a lot of extra fat in your midsection is not great for overall health, and I'm trying to get my overall health to be better, but right now we're just talking about physical goals I have just to get that out there. So obviously trimming down the midsection, and then in terms of my lower body is not terrible. I want my glutes to actually be like rounded, because right now they're kind of just flat, just flat straight down. So I like round it out. And then for my quads, I want to keep relatively large quads. I just like the way that looks. And on my body, I just always had large quads. So it's a good thing I like large quads. That's what I'm going to get. So I just want, when I do have like my legs out or whatever, I want to have like that hamstring definition, because I think that's so cute. I just feel like it just looks like that's how you know somebody works out. I did. Was it yesterday? Someone complimented me on my calves. I don't even work my calves. But I think, again, just like with your forearms, it's a body part that gets engaged as you do other leg workouts. I mean, I do calf workouts. I mean, I do calf raises. Like, I don't even know what else to do for calves. But she complimented my calves. She was like, I saw you walking in the store, because I was at Kroger. She's like, I saw you walking in the store and I saw your calves, and I was like, oh, she has nice calves. I was like, see, that's yes, because I just want my body to look like I lift heavy weights. So that's pretty much, if I had to summarize what I'm looking for, I just want to look like I lift heavy weights. I want to look strong. I want to feel strong. I want to be strong. So that's what we're working on in terms of physicality. That for now, I'm at 355. I think it was 355.6. The goal for November is going to be to see if we can break 350 and get to 349. Even if it's 349.9, all I want to do is break 350. So that is the physical goals. Now we can go sit down and we'll talk about the other goals that I have for this winter ARC series. All right, so now I'm just going to go over what I'm expecting of myself during this winter ARC, which is 4 months. Like I said, we're just locking in. I have these goals to reach, so there's no time like winter where we're just indoors all the time, pretty much hibernating, to just kind of get back on track, revisit everything we want to do instead of waiting for the new year, just starting now, because I mean, that's 2 months that we could be working towards something that we're not if we just plan on waiting until January 1st. Every day can be your new year if you want that change. I'm going to get into the goals I have. This is my weight loss journal. So what I have here, I put for my weight loss goal to lose 150 pounds. That's not for the 4 months. That would be insane. If I lost that much weight in 4 months, please call a doctor, call a hospital, call the ambulance. Okay, because I'm unwell. But overall, just in terms of what my goal is, it's to lose 150 pounds altogether. During this 4 months, like I said previously, I don't know exactly how my body's going to react to everything that I'm doing. But if I had to just say, if I'm losing the 1 to 2 pounds a week, that's average for weight loss. We can say that's like max 4 to 8 pounds a month. And then if I'm doing that for 4 months, I can expect to lose 16-ish pounds. So we will see, well, 16, I'll say 16 to 24 pounds. Let's just say that, we'll put it at that. 24 is the high end, 16 is the goal. If we get to 24, that's great. If not, honestly, if I can build better habits for myself, that would be amazing too, because this is a lifelong journey. I think we've, just as people in general, whether it be from our own expectations of ourselves or societal expectations or familial expectations, we just always view weight loss as this destination, like once we get there, we're done. But that's just not how it is. So if you're at a point where you are overweight or obese, even if you lose all that weight, you still have to get into the correct mindset, because you can always end up back to where you started if you don't change your interactions with food, if you don't change the way you talk to yourself or deal with the emotions that you have. For me, I'm a very emotional eater. It can be for anything. It can be I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm upset, I'm angry. Like, I'm going to turn to food to fill that void, that, or get that comfort, because I mean, eating, obviously you're doing something else to block out whatever is going on in your mind, and food tastes good. So I'm not obviously binging on carrots. Okay, let's be serious. I'm not going in the fridge and being like, oh yeah, I'll just have this bowl of vegetables. Like, no, if I'm in that kind of mood and I'm wanting to eat, I'm going to a drive-thru, I'm going to get a pizza or desserts. So dealing with the mental aspect of weight loss is very important. So like I said, even if I don't lose the pounds that I'm planning, I just want to be able to build healthier habits. How am I doing that? Well, I already see a nutritionist, so I'm working with her to basically just figure out what foods work for me. She's telling me what foods are good for my body just as a woman, and as a woman who has just like in your regular cycle, because she believes that my hormone imbalances are what's causing me a lot of issues with like my anxiety, my depression, with holding on to body fat. So what she's doing right now is just focusing on building a menu for me that's going to get my hormones back in order without me having to take a bunch of medications, because I told her I don't really want to take medications on top of just not being good at taking medications. I'm always bad at keeping up with them. So we're just working on getting a good menu for that. Getting supplements that are actually helpful and beneficial, because there's so many supplements out there that just don't really do anything, or they're just not what your body needs in particular. So she gave me a list of supplements that I should be taking. So magnesium, a multivitamin. There's one that's supposed to be good for hormones. I forgot what the name of that one was. And then a fish oil. So I'm going to take those. We're just going to get everything on the inside in working order, because I don't believe I can reach the goals I have until I fix whatever is kind of askew on the inside. Another way I plan on working with that mental aspect is I do go to therapy every other week. So just, I mean, I don't have anything particularly outrageous to talk about, but there's some times where you think everything is fine, and then you go to a person who's like, so tell me, how is everything going? And then you just start talking and you kind of uncover, actually, I have been stressed. Actually, this has been bothering me. And you don't realize that you're holding onto that stress and releasing all this cortisol until you start talking. Sometimes you just have to start talking. And unfortunately, I don't really have anyone in my life that I feel comfortable enough to talk to the things that I have going on about. But if you have someone like that, that's great. Make sure that you have that sounding board for yourself, whether it be therapy or just someone in your life. So for me, it's therapy, and it's working for me. I've been going, I believe, since August or end of July, and I've definitely noticed a big difference just within myself mentally and how I deal with any issues that come up. So like I said, we're just dealing with the mental aspects of everything, so that way we can have overall health going forward and not just have this arbitrary weight loss goal and maybe we get there but it's not sustainable because I haven't figured out how to deal with my emotions without turning to food. So that's what we're working on now. I do have some clothes that I would like to fit into. I don't buy clothes with the intention of saying, okay, I have to lose weight so I can fit into this. I used to do that all the time. I used to buy clothes and say, if I hang up this outfit or this dress, these pants, whatever, I have to look at it every single day, and that's a reminder to lose weight. That was so extremely detrimental to my mental health that I didn't even realize it at the time. But looking back, that's not a healthy thing to do, because I had these clothes that I was like, okay, you just gotta lose weight against these clothes. But I wasn't mentally well. And then putting those things on display and seeing every day like I cannot fit those clothes made me turn to food because I was depressed. It's like I never quite understood why I could never reach those goals. It's because I wasn't working on the internal. I kept focusing on just lose the weight, just fit into these clothes. So I had a whole wardrobe full of clothes that I couldn't even fit just because I thought that was going to help me. But that just kind of goes back to like the early 2000s, and I'm a millennial-ish. So I was born in 1995, but I believe that's like on the cusp of like millennial, Gen Z. I think it's called like a zillennial if you want to get fancy. But I still grew up with like, do you remember that Yoplait commercial where it's like, she wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini? That one, where it's like, I guess she was just eating yogurt all the time instead of eating real food. And she hung up this bikini and she looked at it every day and she was like, I'm going to fit into that bikini. I'm just going to eat my Yoplait. That was what we grew up with. The Special K diet, Yoplait, the magazines with the extra skinny people and all that stuff. And I did grow up with someone, my mom. Like, I love my mom, of course, and I wouldn't want another person to be my mom, but she was a ballerina and a model in the 70s. And if you thought what we had going on today was bad, it was worse then. And she was a black woman in the 70s. Like, black people didn't deal with that kind of stuff. If there was any talk of eating disorders, it was always, oh, that's a white people problem. And I think that's what happened to me too. I never dealt with any of my food issues because it was always labeled as a white person problem. So there was just a lot of things working against me that have put me where I'm at today, that have made me have such a bad relationship with food. So we're working on that. I say all that to say I do have some clothes that I just happened to order that just didn't work, and I believe I just have them because the return policy said I couldn't return them. I think it was like they were on clearance or something. And I had bought a bunch of pants at one time, and the other ones fit just fine, but this particular pair did not fit. And I was like, well, I can't return them, so I'm just going to keep them, and then we'll just have these be a gold pair of pants. So that's why I have those, not because I bought them specifically as motivation, but just because I happened to buy them and I couldn't return them. Going more in depth into health, I want to basically reduce any potential health issues that I may get. My family, mostly on my dad's side, there's a lot of heart issues, high cholesterol. My grandfather had strokes. There's hypertension. There's all these things that are preventable, but that are also genetics. I'm genetically predisposed to having those issues. So I'm trying to do what I can to reduce any risk of getting those in the future. I mean, if it happens to be that I do get them, at least I can say I tried. At least I can say I did eat healthy, I did work out, I did reduce my stress or maintain my stress. But if I get it again, I just have that genetic predisposition to it. So, you know, we do what we can. But I do just want to get my health in order for that. I don't want to spend any point in my life having to rely on medication to keep me going, basically. And I also want to make sure I'm getting enough nutrients. Last week I was extremely exhausted, like to a point where I could hardly keep my eyes open. I had to focus so hard to drive to get home every day because I just simply could not physically stay awake. And I didn't understand why I was feeling that way. But when your body is missing nutrients, it seriously cannot function. Like, your body needs so much to go on. And I don't know exactly what it was that I was missing, but I was obviously missing something. My body was rioting. My body was not happy. So going forward, I just want to focus on getting my nutrients. Like I said, I have supplements that I need to take, and I did start taking my multivitamin. I have my fish oil. So I am taking those. I just have to get my magnesium, and then that other one, like I said, I don't know what it was, but something my nutritionist wanted me to take. So I do want to get those so I can make sure I am properly nourishing my body, because my nutritionist was saying that as much as we want to get all our nutrients from food, the way our agricultural system is set up is that the soil itself doesn't have enough nutrients to get into the food. So, I mean, I can only say this for the United States. That's where I'm from. That's where I'm at. But the way our soil is, it's just not providing the nutrients to the plant for us to consume. And then if you have animal products, the animals aren't getting the right nutrients either, because they're obviously eating the grass or the grain or whatever that's grown in the same nutrient poor soil. So they're not getting all the nutrients either. So as much as we want to get all of our nutrients from food, there are just going to be gaps. So that's why she just has these specific supplements for me. I can't say that this is what's good for you. I don't know what you need. That's something you have to talk to your healthcare provider about. I'm very fortunate that my nutritionist is covered fully under my insurance, so I don't even have a copay for her, and I have unlimited visits, so I see her once a week. And if you have that, I would just say, honestly, look at your health insurance. If you have it, if you don't, I'm so sorry. That we shouldn't be in the situation where you don't have access to resources like this, but there are resources online, and hopefully you can find something that may be able to fit in your budget, or even if you're able to just do your own research based off of how you're feeling, any issues that you have in terms of your health, in terms of your family health. If you're able to just do your own research and find something online for free, I would say do that. But of course, be careful, because you don't fully know what's in all these supplements, or you don't fully know what's going on in your body, that maybe one supplement can kind of mess something up. So I'll just say, if you don't have access to any resources through your health insurance, just be careful with what you're doing. But if you do have access to health insurance, just look through it, see what's available. I didn't know that we had our nutritionist covered. I just happened to see an ad on Pinterest. Like, I actually clicked on a Pinterest ad, and I was like, oh wow, this actually worked, because it's for Berry Street. That's what I go through. And I kept seeing his ads for Berry Street, and I was like, okay, I need to click on this, because I know I have issues with my nutrition. Even though I always say, oh, I know how to eat food, I know what I'm doing. That's my problem. Like, I keep saying I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. So, and with this one, you can pick your nutritionist. So you just go through their bios, you see who fits what you're looking for, who has the same kind of values as you, who has a schedule that you're looking for. And then if you go to one person and then you're like, I didn't really vibe with that person, you can always switch. And it's really simple to do that, because that's what I did. I initially started back in April, and I went to one nutritionist just one time, and I did our initial meeting, which was 90 minutes. And the whole time I just wasn't really comfortable with her. I'm more conversational. Like, I just kind of want to go back and forth in that way, but she was more very kind of rigid, kind of strict. Just hear the questions that I'm going to ask you, answer the questions, I'll come up with something. And for some people that could work just fine, but for me it didn't. I didn't feel like I had space to ask questions. I didn't feel like I had space to just kind of interject with any kind of other issues I had, or if I just needed more understanding. So it kind of put me off for a little while. I didn't think about it for a long time. And I was like, you know what, I need to get back into it. So I went back, I put in that I wanted to find another nutritionist, and they don't share the reason that you're leaving that person to that person. They just want to know why you're leaving so that the system can kind of help you find somebody better. And I found my new person, and she's been great. I look forward to meeting with her. She's exactly what I need. Like I said, I'm more conversational, and she is too. I feel like I have space to ask questions, and she is very knowledgeable about what she does. She focuses on intuitive eating. So instead of her saying, okay, you want to lose this much weight, this is what you eat, this is when you eat it, and that kind of thing. Like I said, I'm trying to have this be long term. I don't want to just lose 150 pounds and then that be it. And then I don't know any skills to keep it off. So what she's doing is basically giving me skills so that way I can lose weight and then maintain that weight loss for the future. So very chatty, very long, but that is just what I'm going through for this winter arc. I hope you will stick around with me. Hope you'll join me on this. I know, like I said, this is very chatty, but going forward is going to be more kind of like interactive. I plan on setting up my upstairs to be a workout area a little bit because it's winter. Well, it's going to be winter. It's going to start snowing soon. It's going to be ice. And I'm not always going to feel like going to the gym. Let's just be real about that. It's getting dark at 5 o'clock because we just had daylight savings time. So I'm not always going to want to go to the gym. So I want to set myself up for success. So I'm probably going to set that up, I want to say this weekend, but I'll see if I just have the energy to do it at some point this week. And I also want to get a walking pad, and then we'll do some cooking because I want to start just kind of incorporating some new recipes. I eat the same thing every day, which, I mean, works for me because I don't get sick of it. It's something I really enjoy. But I do want to kind of incorporate some more recipes, some more cooking. I want to start new hobbies because as much as the winter arc is about health, at least from what I've seen, it's a lot about health and fitness. I want my winter arc to include kind of glowing up in a social sense, in a personality sense, because I feel like I just don't know who I am anymore, or I don't think I ever knew who I was. And I'm not a very social person. So I just want to take this time to find hobbies for myself, to find groups, anything I can find, and just open myself up more to just the people around me, life around me, because life is passing me by like nobody's business, and I'm kind of over it. So that is the winter arc. Like I said, I hope you join me. Do you have any particular goals that you're working through? Let me know. If you did make it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thanks for listening to me chat this whole time. Why don't you leave an emoji of a, just leave your favorite emoji. How about that? Whatever your favorite emoji is, or the last one you used, leave that down below. Let me know you made it to the end. I really appreciate you watching. Let's get these goals. We're locking in. So, any goals you have, work through those. Don't wait until New Year's. Don't say, oh, next week. Don't say, oh, after the holidays. We're starting now. All right? You and me. You and me. We got this. All right. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.